meet you, Peyton.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
All right, so we're going to go over basically the policies of the clinic, which is just my private practice, which is your financial responsibility, your consenting for me to treat you, and then my responsibilities as your provider. So what we're gonna do is go through this one first, which is your health and information practices. So this is basically what my responsibilities are, is to maintain your privacy at all times. If in the event that, death or something happens, I will give you a release of information for you to sign that, to designate anybody to have access to your records at any time. In an event of emergency or anything like that, we can do that. If you do not want to, that's your right, and
Okay.
we can absolutely just skip that.
Got it.
And then basically I have a consent to treat form that you're gonna just electronically sign right here,
Okay.
and your financial responsibilities. So I do not take insurance, so it is an out-of-pocket cost. At the end, I can give you a super bill that's gonna explain all your costs to your insurance company for you to get reimbursed.
Oh, that's really good.
But ultimately, you are responsible. And so if you sign right there,
Okay.
you could just sign on my screen.
Super easy. Okay.
Okay. And then, as well as, this is what the super bill is going to look like. It's going to have your initial psychiatric exam on there, and then your follow-ups. So the initial exam is an hour, and then your follow-ups are 45 minutes each time. And then if you do phone and telephone visits, they're different prices. And this will be your bill and what it looks like with all the codes that you'll need.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is just the consent of my practice. So and the office policies. So in case of an emergency, please call 911 if you're feeling suicidal or homicidal or a danger to anybody or yourself.
Okay.
And then for anything urgent or non-emergency issues, you can always leave a voicemail, and I do check my voicemails as well. And then that's my email, which is tamiko.barker7@gmail.com. And then for anything medical record wise or anything, me sending things to people, I do charge for letters to your employment, to school, to anything like that. I do charge. And disability paperwork, I charge to fill that out. We normally do that in an appointment, and if it takes me extra time, I do charge extra for that. If you do not cancel within 24 to 48 hours of your appointment, I do charge for the full appointment.
Okay.
And then if you need, basically if they're, I have the right to terminate you as a patient with repeated missed appointments, non-payment, anything like that, misuse or abuse of any medications that I might suspect, or not following treatment recommendations, I do have the right to terminate our relationship. If you want to sign that.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I did send you, before you came in, your assessment, which we will go over. So let's talk a little bit about what brings you in today, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I recently was unemployed, but I recently just got a new position. I only have been there for 2 weeks. So that's kind of why I've been feeling stressed lately, just because of the uncertainty of everything. So that's kind of why I wanted to see you, just kind of talk it out, because I know I'm not alone with this. There's a lot of people that have been unemployed, don't know where their career is going.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It's definitely an uncertainty with the COVID and everybody, especially coming from unemployment. How long were you unemployed for?
About 6 months.
Right, so you're in this environment where you just don't feel like it's stable yet because you were in the environment of non-stability, looking for jobs, going on interviews and things like that. So I can definitely feel your stress and frustration with that.
And a big thing was, since I was let go, just finding what I'm good at again, trying to remember that I still have skills that I can put towards another career that maybe isn't, or another field that's doing well right now. So that's kind of something I've been struggling with too, is just kind of beating myself up about not, I guess, being good enough. I got laid off, so that's kind of something I've been struggling with too.
That can definitely kind of kick self-esteem.
Yes.
For sure. I'm sure, like, when you found out, that was probably total shock.
Yeah. That just might be me being naive, but I had no idea it was coming, and so I didn't have any plan. A lot of people, mine happened right in the first, round of layoffs, so I feel like a lot of people might have gotten a little more warning, so I just kind of was caught off guard. So,
Yeah.
And I don't really like the shakeup in my life. I'd rather have something stable that's give me more direction.
Yeah, of course. So starting a new job, it can be very stressful in the beginning. As much as it's a relief to start a job and a relief to, go back into the workforce and everything like that, it's also stressful because it's new and you're not sure. What are you doing right now?
So, it is a startup, and so I'm kind of an administrative, just kind of really being an assistant to the needs of the CEO. And I do love the job, and it's really gotten my creativity going. The only thing why I'm still unsure, and some of the questions I put lower score, is just because it's not a certain paycheck, and it's not, a certain like set time even, or a set like job description, so that's just kind of gets me nervous. But I do enjoy it because it's different, but it's just, I like having things set in stone.
Okay, so you would say the uncertainty and just kind of your role is not really concrete.
Yes.
And that's what's making you more anxious than anything. Is there anything outside of your job that's giving you stress, or anything that's, that you've been thinking about?
I would say that because of this whole layoff and everything, my health kind of isn't at its top shape. I don't get the kind of sleep I used to be getting when I was very comfortable with what I was doing, and now I worry. I don't really put the time into even like drink enough water or like eat healthy, because I'm just kind of nervous all the time with like what's going to happen next, and what kind of money I'll be being able to put in.
Right, exactly. Especially with COVID and anybody can get it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you start thinking about your health and everybody around you and what you can do to be better about your lifestyle and everything like that. So I had you fill out the assessment wheel, which was great. So I saw a lot of things that were almost perfect score, and then a lot of things that were kind of in the middle. So we'll just kind of go, we kind of started with your career. You were kind of more in the middle. You scored around 30, but you said, I feel like I have found my right livelihood as a 4. And you, like you said, right now you're uncertain. You don't know where you're meant to be, especially being fired. That's kind of a blow to your self-esteem and everything like that. So I think getting back in the workforce, you're going to start finding more your feet and everything like that. And I think the stress will go away. It's always stressful because you don't want to mess up.
Right, and I haven't found my rhythm again yet.
Exactly. So you haven't found your rhythm. And then, so with your health, that's about the same. It was a 35 out of 50, but you're low, like you said, you're low on I am satisfied with the level of my vitality and well-being. There's so many things you can do to improve that. Obviously, drink some more water, sanitizer, all of that, mask, whatever makes you feel better. Go outside for an evening walk. It's starting to cool down, things like that.
Yeah, it's really nice weather.
Right. So with your friends, that was probably one of your highest, 43 out of 50. That was really good.
Yeah, they've pretty much been like my backbone for this, so
That's great.
I'm glad that at least I have that.
So you have a really good support system. That's good. All right, and then I see family. I'm satisfied with the level of contact I've had with my family, which is out of 2, which is, I mean, you scored 12 out of 40 on this section. This is one of your lowest sections. So do you want to tell me a little bit about that? What makes you feel that way?
Well, since we've, really haven't been able to get out of the house since this whole COVID thing, I already live kind of far from my parents and my sisters already, and so now I feel like I can't even make the trip over to see them, because of COVID. So it's like separated us even further, and I've used to always being close to my family, and it's been a few years now that we've been really far apart, but I always look to improve that because I really care about, having them in my life. So.
Right. So family is like a core center to you. And definitely with COVID, especially, with the older generation, we've been told to separate and really be conscious of everything. So that's normal. What I would suggest is have you obviously try more FaceTimes if that's available, if they know how to do that.
Yeah.
You could send them care packages of like gloves, hand sanitizer, things like that. So let's go over, okay, so money and finances, that's about a 15 to 40. Obviously with the stress of COVID, as we talked about, you have been unemployed. I'm sure you have filed unemployment, and it's just not, obviously unemployment only goes so far, but now you're getting your footing back, so that will come, for sure. And then fun and recreation, again, with the COVID, there's not really much activities to do. What I would say is try and find some more outside activities, possibly. Is there anything you do like to do? What are your hobbies?
I'm pretty crafty, so I do try to do that. So one benefit, I guess, from this whole experience is like having more time to work on that. So I found like skills that I've been able to improve on. So that's helped me. I sew and I, cook and things like that.
Very nice.
So that score could maybe be a little higher. I think I do make time for that.
Okay.
At least a little bit more than I
Okay,
think
so
I
you
did.
like think about it more, and now you can kind of see like you probably could have scored a little bit higher.
Now that I talk about it, I'm like, I do actually probably have a lot more time for that than I thought I did.
Right. Okay, perfect. And then your physical environment, that's pretty high too, 28. So do you have a house or an apartment?
An apartment, and I really do like it. It fits all my needs right now, honestly. Eventually I'd love to move into a house, but that'll come later down the line. So, but I really like where I live right now.
Okay. And then jumping into significant other, it shows pretty even kind of score. Do you live with your significant other?
I do.
All right, and
he's
Go
been
ahead.
great. Yeah, he's been
Okay.
there every day, so he
Awesome.
helps me through things.
Okay. That's great. That's a good support system as well.
So.
All right, and then let's see. So we're gonna just go over a couple questions. Obviously, everything's kind of like in the middle. You have some high and then some low, it's an average. So, like we talked about on the area of the wheel, what are you most wanting and willing to make a difference with?
I think that, like you said, like some of the health things, even just drinking more water, I could
Right.
probably work on that pretty consciously. now that I kind of have gotten a rhythm again, I can maybe even plan out my lunches, you know, or
Right.
plan out a walk since it is such nice weather these days. I think that'd be kind of my goal, because I feel like that might be like a good base, and once I get that, everything else might feel better too.
Right, and fall in place. When you feel good about yourself, everything kind of feels better.
Yeah.
And then basically, what do you think is missing or not working for you?
I would say just maybe a structure. It
Right.
is coming now a little bit.
It's
If this job kind of pans out and everything, that'd be great. But just having a structure and
A schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then with this job, you know, do you think you can thrive in it?
Yeah, since it is like a real creative job, I
Mhm.
feel like already my brain has, you know, been able to have more fun at work. You know, I'm not really
Right.
exhausted after work. I've like energized. So
That's
that is
great.
a good plus side right now. And it's really like I can build whatever skills it's like a crash course in business, this startup
Right.
is. So it is, you know, so far beneficial, I think.
So you're learning, and
Yeah,
obviously
a lot.
you get to contribute, which is great, which a lot of people, you know, don't
really-
get to contribute
Yeah.
and use their brain and be creative. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, after going through it all, tell me exactly, how do you feel about the outlook? How do you?
Well, it was nice to talk through things to even just get an easy kind of like, I'm trying to say, summary of what I'm at right now. I feel positive. I'm usually a pretty positive person, so I just kind of go for it, and if it doesn't work out, oh well. But
That's true.
I'm feeling, you know, kind of in the middle how my scores have been, but
Right.
you know,
A little bit better.
yeah, exactly.
So going forward, obviously, we're gonna see how you progress throughout this job, and you know the goals you've set.
Yeah.
Obviously, now you're getting back to a structure, a schedule, and everything like that. That's gonna really kind of boost you up a little bit more. In general, when people are on a schedule and things start going back to normal, the new normal
Yeah.
of COVID, things get better for
Yeah.
sure. And so what we'll do in about probably 2 to 3 weeks, we can follow back up.
Okay.
You don't have to take this test again, obviously, but we'll kind of talk about that, talk about more about your job, kind of how that's going. Obviously, it's just starting out, so you're kind of just fresh and new. And then we'll go from there. Do you have any questions for me or anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I had a good, you know, it was nice to just think through everything, but
Sure.
I don't think I have any other questions right now, but I'm sure I'll have some stuff to talk about in about 3 weeks then.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Thank
thank you. It was so nice to meet
Yes,
you,
you too.
for
Thank
sure.
you so much.